Here we have the 30-minute price chart for Intel Corporation, stock ticker INTC. So here we can possibly take a bit of a victory lap here. I have been saying for quite a while now that Intel is my favorite stock, my favorite tech stock, my favorite long-term position. Um, a stock that has been heavily neglected by the rest of the market. Inexplicable declines for long periods of time. I mean, I could go on and on here. But what we're seeing now, there's a lot of red on this chart, but what we're seeing here is essentially, one of the only examples of upside trading activity in the market during this recent sell-off. Every other major name is seeing a tremendous amount of selling pressure here. But if we just take a look at this chart here, we can see that we continue to post new highs in this stock. They've been a bit unsustainable. We're forming some price gaps here. We're seeing a bit of a reversal from those highs. But if you take a look at this stock and you compare it to, say, what's going on with Nvidia or what is going on with Broadcom, or especially Meta Platforms is a very good example of a stock that's trading under major pressure right now. We can see that Intel is a clear winner here amongst this group. Even AMD's had declines of 8% today. So most recently, the most recent highs that we're looking at right now are coming in at 37.16. This would have posted during the July 17th trading session. And we have seen a bit of a reversal here, but it's not entirely surprising given the fact that we did have a price gap here, fairly substantial price gap that does need to be filled. So, this is par for the course. This is typically what happens if you do see an upside price gap. It's got to kind of refill itself to the downside because there are so many orders that are left in the market that are positioned in those areas. So we can't just neglect this. And we can see that the price gap essentially extends from just above 135.50 to just below 34.50. Roughly $1 here. It's a little bit more than $1 in gapping price action here, and we have essentially filled this price gap at this point. We're trading back at 34.46. And anybody that's long this stock should pat themselves on the back a little bit here, because this is you don't find many winners in this type of environment, and this stock has been a clear winner. It's trading higher when almost every other stock is trading lower. I really recommend that people take a look at the Meta Platforms video in particular. You could also look at Nvidia. AMD will be posting here. There are many examples of stocks that are trading under downside selling pressure. And this is just not the case for Intel. We continue to post new highs here. So, we do have to actually revise this Fibonacci retracement study here a bit because we do have new highs now in the stock. So we have to pull out here a little bit and kind of reassess the trend and try to figure out where we are exactly. So currently, we did just move through the 38.2% Fibonacci retracement of this broader trend move. For redefining this trend move now, we would have to point to the July 2nd lows, which came in just below 30.60. And then, as I said, these July 17 highs, which came in at 37.16. So, fairly quickly, we are breaking through this 23.6% Fibonacci retracement. And this is almost exactly where the price gap starts. So, further declines from here, not really surprising. This price gap doesn't really close itself until you break through this 38.2% Fibonacci retracement. So, in most cases, this would be a more of a bearish event, and it is a bearish event. But we have to take into consideration the fact that this is largely coming as a result of this massive price spike that sent prices gapping higher. So, you could call it a bit of a mixed bag, I suppose, but I would say it's probably more positive than negative, because the reason that we're declining here is because we saw those gains. If we're looking at the indicator reading, we do need to point out the fact that prior downside trend momentum has broken. This is no longer active. This downside trend momentum movement. We have broken above here. We've seen a bit of a two-way bit of activity here. However, we did cross over a bit into overbought territory, and then we kind of reversed lower here. And it's not totally surprising, because at these highs we've got a major red candle that did reverse itself quite quickly, and then we had to sort of fill in this price gap. So, overall, this is getting a bit volatile here, especially for Intel. You don't normally see this with Intel, especially this year. Trading activity with Intel has been very mundane and boring, and you do not see price gaps with a stock like this for the most part. But we're really bucking the trend here as far as the broader market is concerned. And we have seen some selling pressure here. We can kind of point to this spike in negative trading volume that occurred, but again, this occurred as the price was spiking so much higher. This really does look like some people are starting to take gains here, and probably looking at the broader market and getting a bit concerned that share prices have run too far. While the rest of the market is declining. I mean, it does stand to reason that some people would be concerned about, losing their profits if you're seeing every other technology stock essentially fall through the floor. It's really not totally surprising that people would start to act this way, and close their positions. Try to capture some gains here. So, overall, I'm not totally concerned that we did break through this 38.2% fib retracement. I think there are some explanations for it. We needed to do that in order to fill the price gap. We do have some moving average breaks here as well. But the real level that I would start to watch here would come in more around, we're right back to this 3330 level. Roughly, because this does come into fairly close contact with the 618% with the 61.8% retracement of this broader trend move, which we have now revised. I mean, we have to account for the new highs here. So even if we're accounting for these new highs, this 618 retracement does roughly come within 20 cents of these prior lows that we have been watching here for some time. So I wouldn't really be concerned about this stock until we start to break through these areas. We have kind of a support zone here rather than an individual level. 20 cents in this stock might mean a little bit more than 20 cents in some other stock like Meta Platforms or something like that, because the share price is so much lower. So in percentage terms, it's more significant. But I would still refer to this as a support zone due to the fact that we have this rising 200 period exponential moving average that is coming into very close contact with the 618 retracement and this 3330 historical support zone that we've been watching previously. So overall, these are very strong developments. I mean, this stock is doing incredibly well in very stormy conditions. Like this is the only boat that's still sailing essentially. It's done very well in a kind of a negative sell-off type of environment. So the gains here are substantial. They're still impressive. We're seeing a bit of a retracement here, but I'm to me this is mostly due to the fact that we had to fill in a price gap, which was created by those substantial gains. So here's the current market analysis for Intel Corporation, stock ticker INTC.